Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line, DC. On this show, you hear from the voices of dynamic Black people and people of color in the agriculture, food justice, and healing space as they share empowering food narratives and perspectives that stem from the land, all while exemplifying the spirit of activism in their own edible way. Let's get started. Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I am your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting here on Full Service Radio. This is going to be a very short piece. I have received a few emails, hey Melissa, where are you at? When's the next episode? And you all know, my amazing listeners, I love to push out content. You all are my number one fans, and I appreciate your support of the show. I've been pausing. I don't know if it's intentional, unintentional, but the recent killing of Ma'Khia Bryant has me frozen. As I pause, I watched the video, which I shouldn't have done, and I was numb, per usual, sadly, to see that this young, beautiful girl was shot and killed in a matter of seconds. And the visuals just replay in my mind over and over and over again. And I just cannot wrap my mind around it. For me, this platform is everything to me, and I love it because it brings joy and cheer. And even when we talk about deep issues, we still find cracks and crevices and gaps to show the joy that's in this space of food and agriculture. And I am hurt. Sometimes I feel hurt, sometimes I don't. But I know that I am hurt and I am sad. I am angry. I am confused. As a Black woman, I am afraid. And it's just this deep internal sadness I've been feeling. So much so that I just, in full transparency, just have not been able to publish another episode. Because something in me was just like, Melissa, I don't know. I just felt like I could not go on as business as usual and not just sit here and reflect on how I feel and how I'm showing up in this climate that is still brutal towards Blacks, people of color, our Asian community. I was reading an article about Ma'Khia's death, and I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was the chief or someone had made remarks and saying, we need to pause and look at the facts. And I'm thinking, What the hell? Do we pause when white men shoot up places and they get to walk out with handcuffs in peace? Do we pause on that? No. I've been grappling. I've really been grappling on what to say, how to express myself during this time. I called a good friend of mine who's a writer, an actress, and I said, Sam, I don't know what to say. I need someone to say something for me. I don't know what to say. At any point, I want to dedicate this episode to Ma'Khia Bryant. And in remembrance of Breonna Taylor, our sister, Sandra Bland, our sister, and the countless Black women who have died at the hands of our police force. Those who are missing still, and no one gives a damn about us. I dedicate this episode to them. And so right now I'm just at a pause. That pause is personal to me, selfishly, as a Black person who is here to amplify the voices of Black people and people of color in food and agriculture. We know the history behind this system, right? The stuff isn't new, but it's sickening and it's traumatizing and it hurts. So I just felt the need to come in, show up and express that pause from my Black sisters, because we're not protected as much as we should be at all. And so I just ask that you pause and reflect on how you are showing up in this space. Feel your feelings. I hope you're just as raged as I am. I hope. And that you channel that rage and that anger, that sadness in a way that will create a bigger space for healing, but also address this shit that's been going down for way too long. Dear Ma'Khia, baby girl, I am sorry. The last couple weeks, I've found myself doing deep breathing just to have some level of grace, feel some level of grace. And those breaths are for you, because I truly wish that you were standing here being with the ability to breathe. And why that police officer thought it was okay to shoot you, a baby girl, I can't wrap my mind around it. And I'm sorry. Breonna Taylor, I'm sorry. Sandra Bland, I'm sorry. Thank you all. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch today's episode on fullserviceradio.org, as well as iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to follow Food Talks in Color, that's just the letter N, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all updates. Are you an edible activist? Sure you are. Come join me on the show. Just shoot me a DM on the gram or connect with me at foodtalksincolor.com. And if you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, let's connect. Peace and blessings, and remember, in the words of Baba Tariq Adunu, there is no culture without agriculture.